Happily a treasure chest is worth its weight in gold, on islands never to be found, so working parrots told. Far off welcome pleasant shores, where true families find peace, can be a tidal stomping ground, if shock and brother meet or cease. Eager kingdoms' festivals could entertain weird thoughts, keep your wiles and your manners innocent of spots, or underneath sore spots. Clashing personalities and nightmares as misjudged, so too things like demon things cause vagaries as fudge. They're supposed to be demon stings, right? Yeah. Pools of pretty lily pads do sweetly surprise. Beside them, games of teenagers seem less sweaty than wise, and it took forever to come up with a rhyme for that. The 1730's heard cries. In summer heat, a snake bite or rash could add pain to madness while making a dash. Provincial proverbs told Inklings so telling to ever combine opposition forms yelling. A heart isn't set by concomitant plans. Glory and honor is only one man's. A creature as trained as a beast in its place to suggest its dignity might not leave a trace. A legacy's calling to brutes wears fools down. Regal environments hide vine-covered grounds. Liberally speaking, the 1740's weren't found. A candle beside a small window assists an extension of purpose as moved by the wrists. Out from myth steps, children circulate these letters with tasks for the man Hercules. Figures of history's moment is giant, adept at great movements, plant seeds more reliant. Split rail fencing across lawn fields, spare horsemen the guardianship of cumbersome yields. Cubits and corners topped by silver things, filled with nice spices the traveler brings. The 1750's a cast bell rings. Singing and passing by troubles each day kept the impression of hope every way. Old folks form harbors, austere as life's harsh, poverty's miserable escapes through a marsh. In forests on seaboards mists occlude damnation, where the little trap critters pay fates to one nation. There's little disgust of a woman for better, nor her son's interest hunt foul with one Irish setter. Women who fancy the wish might as well. The Puritans' rigorous code never fell. Were the 1760's less exactly that swell? Things we once noticed, like things we have lost, won't build up as forgotten, like a tempest is tossed. Twins affect each destiny, like rope is frayed of strings. Forces of abomination hardly spring from kings. Tiny and brand new, each life as gentle as a cloud. Cherish mercy evermore. The child, reticence, proud. To and fro, to bonds each morning man returns to work. Bound life here is precarious the way the absent lurk. Terror formed by air the landscape can change with each gust, or announce to humanity a foreign power's dust. In the 1770's, respect included must. Over the rooftops, flocks of birds chatter. Bricks laid are sealed with mortar and batter. Trim civilizations, well, London used stone. Work days for survival, y'all ache to the bone. Strains of such conditions can aggravate wrath, for the sum truth of hopes isn't quite cause for math. Lord's lands, per climate, can scarce honor news that dangerous places still require shoes. Naturally blessed souls record, as pass by, a dull foreigner buck beneath God's Phrygian sky. The 1780's, oh why? Regiments ratified once and for all, tearing down tyranny from its own wall. Forces abolished can jostle no more. Impoverished graces belong to that lore. Life as a duty is never the same. When all that we hoped for is given a name, there's a new promise as life carries on. Its citadel proves and injustice is gone. Natural forms of disaster still strike. What a puppy dog realizes on its first hike. 1790 corrected the tyke. Cold but maintained as a church in the morn, its miraculous duty crisp to the forlorn. In between nooks, curiosity cares for the child who hides from more diligent heirs. Shackled and shunned and degraded we work, for the taskmaster's whip, not a frivolous clerk. Whimsical winds shelter luckier ports, wooden ships crease new supplies for their forts. Paths through the forest like guides for time, warily lead us until turned on a dime. Hope's grand century, born 1800 sublime. On this side of an ocean, cold though each affair, Memories linger like families who dared. Places pass lightly by high roads of time, like drop-ins for animals view hillsides with lime. People we met all asunder and married filled our hearts' crevices as along streams we tarried, raising our kinsfolk everywhere high, roundabout vanguards marshal under the sky. In moments past quietude, freed or subdued, repose never works like due honors eschewed. The 1810's stirred a whole brood. If time were ever tested in a crucible like earth, if humanity's every gesture was a vote for its rebirth, if crocuses were sentinels and bumblebees lost kings, could a fat lady quote passages the way a mermaid sings? In the 2x2 of giraffe stew does a tradesman make amends, like an offering of painted things extrapolates good hens? When the golden sheen of what's to be falls down on any clan, is the spinning wheel what a curtain needs, like a crying wonder's fan? As all ships begin to circle for the share affair, I suppose true wind will whisper, is anybody there? That's the 1820s, and that's, my friends, not fair. Primus composure, man's hope reformed, after the wars when Arabia stormed. Cues of a godsend, rains blessed, so pray, angels in heaven would want it that way. Hearken the spirit of good times that learn, caroling merriment, moistened sins burn. Sweet by the bedside, old ones give rest. Far out is forever, earth's end is no test. Lucid and lifted, yet lost in a crowd, worn deviance places are sifted out loud. The 1830's were hardly that proud. Cock-a-doodle-doo on a misty morning to you. History's a wishing well, and charm was but its ruler. In a barn the produce is a picking for some luck. Smaller things as mercy flings, a tootin' for a pluck. When we wrote our memoirs, the autographs assigned were hardly worth remembering. The world was not our bind. Poor and deep and pitiful commoners arose, the classics of wisdom enchanting as we froze. Now our fruity comrade will serve us cherry tarts. Her lips as fresh as ocean bite, throws laughter at the arts. The 1840s filigree, if in bits and parts. In each wilderness far off, beginnings did stir, just as the meadow flock feed on the myrrh. Poking around keeps the madness at bay. Glorious freedom continues a day. Wheeled, healed, and traded for dignity shorn. Throes of a century bustling is born. Convivial concoctions this gathering might. Dew drip, grass glittering, birds are in flight. Courts of considerate clemency call, traipsing along like a vagabond's fall. The 1850s facing its wall. In the tall test of time, there are punishments plenty. Was a course on its cue, guarded just by its sentry. Wheels of commotion mark troubling points of powers at rest in their diligent joints. An old tree doth fall like its guardian scruff. When the wind cures its portents, its rumblings seem tough. Yet the voice of a lark in the morning makes haste, just as the earth's waters clear. There's no waste. A cold corner somewhere is as strange as the day in the spring never far off, when all children play. Let us speak of the 1860s that way. Silver or rickety, fools can be rattled, like harnessing animals made to be saddled. Nature, as cursive, may close as a window, inhabitants' lives flowing by to and fro. May there be no season unbroken as peace, no sin under God, and an end will not cease. Happy the critters around us burst forth, orders above them demanding as earth. Few have too much but each other to know. That's why among kin there's one way to go. It's just what the 1870s know. By the shores and on banks, some alone, and men witnessed how like cargoes of ships' lives pass each test of fitness. There are towns, there are cities, homes with upstairs and down, each with vexing controls, dashing patterns like frowns. Under warm sun in summer, or the madness of storms, folks you meet greet you merry, or with care break all norms. Every day we are growing, we're beginning to learn the magnificent ways of our place let us earn. Foreign kings in due honor deal their enemies grace, yet war's an undignified task we must face. That's the 1880s place. Inside culture's moors, applied accents go far, filling storerooms aplenty with forms a la noir. Down in a stable, visions can gleam, like people above us who follow a queen. Good folks who sacrifice powers or not. True light our overhead floor once sought. Wood, like a workshop, is crafted to give. Distant ones prescient striven to live. Onward we plod, bursting in on each scene, like married creatures beginning to preen. That's the world as the 1890s was seen. Wait, there's a free cause of ones who hung on throughout the last century. Correction stayed strong, born to the honor, achievement at rest. Ordered in thought is bestowed by the best. Cold but controlled when the meaning's in sight. Hut the production line, setting it right. Chains of attachment and structurally sound. Mornings, conditions, heat, keeping times bound. Hooks, picks, and water, the casual crew. Urban conditions, the skies, starlings new. That's the 1900s. In tenements, parents recite Aesop's fables. On mountainsides, dream girls are kept under gables. Rightly or wrongly, composure combined, like a luxury liner due in any time. Soldiers and ironing boards, camaraderie, sultry returns like our grandfathers free, roaming the country, a day away storage, immigrants yonder, to harvest, not forage. The clickety-clack of a Ford Model T, curtains that blow and clothing to see. The 19 teens sure seemed free. Portraits and smoke rooms glare down from each mantle, as smugly as tensions those radicals handle. Gray as the whippoorwill's feathers they feel, engaging the downtrodden heels is surreal. The whir of a fan, the click of a key, the open door porch and the grandparents free. A people with flair, catastrophe too, could set the agenda that good people do. A skyscraper's business, morality man, form in the glen, food in the pan. That's the 1920s as ticker tape ran. Playing the marionette for a while, shoveling, hustling, flying with style, clipping the hills with a mile-wide smile, not to complain and never beguile. Docking in port at the dawn of discovering, poverty's picture is keeping us hovering, here with a song, there with commotion. Cities are lit as if fueled by a potion, a dance in a square with all strangers around. Surprise one like circles of hope some girl found, or surprise us. The 1930s is history crowned. Not by decree in some shadowy well, nor by calamity as those that fell. Here to be heeded is all grace given, forces that clamor, resisted or driven. Something is modern, something is earned. We'll hand out books till eternity's learned. There's a hill that's so steep that a creature fell down. Mixing rocks, brush, and dirt, laughed a child on the ground. Then as we rested, a tune made us dance. Hey, it's okay, come on, take a chance. The 1940s caused suffering in France. The globe's wise homes hold, fairly drawn like the world, spin like nations of crowds, salute each flag unfurled. On the torn working landscape we still listen to God, as with dutiful hope poor men plow the earth's sod. 'Twasn't satellites that gave us our splendor as grace. Mother's love shall remember shone upon your face. Sciences point to dynamics, all met. Just as phones ring with harmony, life becomes set. Oh, we adore one, how all around meaning glows. On horizons and farms, milk and honey now flows. Yes, the 1950s, we're on Symphony Road. Nature's one dawn reaching all over Earth. National parks gracing justice's birth. A game and a comical playmate or two. Could be Kookaburra or could be you. Where there's a way, there's a wandering star. Follow the rainbow, hope isn't far. Creative sciences, leisurely goods. Whimsical fantasies, new neighborhoods. Visions of dance bazaars welcoming love. Awesome cosmology, peace is a dove. Crew in the 1960s with hairspray for love. Card tricks of wonder, pajamas in play. Parties so lovely lasted into the day. Across boundless landscapes tasty like fruit. Liquid conditions got groovy to boot. Singing along, publicized cool affairs. Technical thinking combined with such airs. Agendas as free as the cosmos took flight. Plane courses, passing by highways of light. Deep in improvement, whole communities jived. Wise though youths, less uncouth, became free how they thrived. Shalala Malaki, the 1970s. Rock isn't happy, stone isn't cold. Formal requirements, chasten is bold. Longing for comforts, the dark yields his grace. Hopes of all nations, a stimulus place. Measures more fine than resistance to war. Separate dignity, crowning each chore. Under the sun, there's a reason like gold, suggesting a planet improves when it's old. Dazzling enterprise, filmed in Japan, tempt every tickle, tease fantasies fan. the 1980s sci-fi productions meant can. Its progress, its chimera, justice, its cure. Utopia feels like it stands at the door. Troubles afar, deeply touched just as near, opening minds to a hope that is clear. Friends of a city like comrades to keep, betrayed is the notion of beckoning sleep. Grand from this moment on, government stands, string foods with choices accompany bands. Classic contortions uplift from the floor, joining the meaning in time with the poor. The 1990s. Destiny no more. People allowed to persist get the gist of what 18th century principles kissed. When there was meaning, we discussed what we must. When there was time, and thinking in tandem begins to compass. All our residual talons at hand rang out like some truth in a duly freed land. Friendly deductions give many the touch. Computer connections seem social as such. On to our new world like magic may play, arranged for conditions including as gay. This decade the O's was just that way. Aspect of precision, dreaming of a raid, Azure's friendship as a cost, never really could be paid. Winsome, the twilight of history now, pattern solutions to simplify how. Haggard is haunted upon a damn hill, thirsts for attention, arranged is to kill. Grand but deceiving, blathering time, tantalized talks to the very last rhyme. Only his motions, bold fortunes are shaped, matching forces as cluttered like dignity raped, laying low with the 2010's victories.